Bonjour, it's Théo. The Olympics just started in Paris a few days ago and I had the chance to be there to see the ceremony, the opening ceremony near the Seine river. I was outside at that time to see everything and maybe you watch it from the TV and it's time in this video to do a little recap from the highlights to the scandals of the ceremony to see if it's really the best ceremony ever. First, I want to say that I'm really disappointed. Not because of the ceremony, but because I made a video when I was there. I made a vlog and I was filming everything, also the screens to see the ceremony because it was difficult to see everything from the city, from the sidewalk. I made a great videos to show you everything with the reactions of everyone, but it was blocked by YouTube for copywriting. I think this is so bad. This is so sad to put copywriting on a thing that 1.5 billion people were watching on TV. Like, it's done. It was once in a lifetime. This is so bad. Just so bad. But I'm still making a video recap today to give you my opinion and also share with you what happened during the ceremony. I was invited to the ceremony by Brian, who had some free ticket from the City Hall of Paris. And we were near the Musée du Louvre, next to the Seine river, but it was really difficult to see everything. Like, you had to be close to the edge of the river, to the sidewalk, to see the boats coming. For most of the people, the ceremony was just watching a big screen. It's okay because it was really entertaining, but I think the people who paid like 1,000 or 2,000 euros to be there just to watch a screen, it was really frustrating for them. Also, the weather was not with us at that time because it was raining during the whole evening, like raining a lot. We were all under umbrellas watching the TV, but it was still a great moment because it's once in a lifetime. You don't care about the rain. The last time we had the Olympics in Paris, it was in 1924, so 100 years ago. And for the first time, the opening ceremony was outside of a stadium. It was all along the Seine river with the boats for each country coming along the Seine and many activities and singers. Also some short movies that were playing on TV. It was incredible. To give you my first opinion about that, I was a bit scared at first, like many French people, that it will be like not enough or not great enough because we are always pessimistic about the French things, but everyone was surprised. It was crazy. It was the best. It was incredible. It was different because it was outside of a stadium. It was inside Paris. You could watch all the monuments, everything. It was being in an open-air museum and seeing like a full movie for 4 hours in this museum. It was just crazy. We had many highlights, many moments where all the public around me was screaming of joy. First, the appearance of Zinedine Zidane, one of the best football player in France. When he arrived with the Olympic flame, everyone was crazy. We had also a man, this guy as a kind of Assassin's Creed character, who was transporting the Olympic flame inside Paris, inside the Musée du Louvre, the different museums, doing some parkour on the roof of Paris, and this was incredibly beautiful to see, and the cinematography also of the short movies were great. He was like the line of all the script, all the plot of this ceremony, and it was crazy to see him appearing at different points of the night. It was just incredible to have like a little story. Also, we had incredible shows. For example, Lady Gaga made a show singing in French, and it's just crazy to see her learning French and speaking in French for the show. French artists were there like Gojira. It's like a famous French metal band. I'm not a big fan of metal, but I know Gojira and I know they are really famous. And it was crazy to see them like on a building. I don't remember which building it was, but it was like throwing some fire everywhere with some Marie Antoinette singing. It was crazy to see that. And all the ceremony was getting inside the history of France with the revolution, the French Revolution, with the different moments like the first screening of cinema. And it was just so good to see many highlights of the French history that were so well depicted, There is a big moment when the guy, like the mysterious man with the fencing mask, kind of Assassin's Creed guy, was flaming a big carpet, like a golden carpet, to put some fire and explosion, and then Aya Nakamura appeared. She's the most famous French singer, so everyone was out of their mind when they saw her, and everyone was so happy around me. And it's also a big politic thing to see Aya Nakamura there because she was singing with a lot of slang, a different language, and she was singing next to the Académie Française, which is like the grammar police of the French language. So it was crazy to see that because it was showing that yes, she's still speaking in French, even with the slang, even with the African inspiration of her language and of her music, it was still the French language, and I think it's so important to show that. We had such poetic moments with Juliette Armanet singing Imagine by John Lennon, with at the piano Sofiane Pamar, a famous pianist. The piano was burning, it was just beautiful, and the song is incredible. An incredibly talented soprano was singing La Marseillaise. A different type of singing, we have an happening by Philippe Catherine. He's like a famous comedian and singer in France. He was like painted in blue, playing Dionysus, the god of partying and wine. And it was really, really funny to see him. It was like a French private joke because many people don't really know him internationally. But it was so good to see Philippe Catherine there. And everyone around me was like screaming, it's Philippe Catherine, it's Philippe Catherine. Because it's really funny. And it was crazy to see him just in the middle of the show doing something really funny and joyful like that. At the end of the show, there was like a woman in armor on a horse going all along the Seine, and this moment was crazy, like crazy poetic and epic with an organ music that was so crazy, so loud, really epic, really like action movie music. She was giving the Olympic flag. For the last part of the show, we had different famous athletes that were giving to each other the Olympic flame, from Zinedine Zidane to Rafael Nadal, Serena Williams, Carl Lewis. And at the end, Marie-Josée Pérec, famous runner, and Teddy Riner, maybe the biggest judo player. They both flamed a big balloon like a montgolfière to start the Olympic Games, and it was just beautiful. And the last touch was Céline Dion singing from the Eiffel Tower. It was incredibly beautiful, and I'm just so happy I saw all this opening ceremony from Paris. Outside, even under the rain, it was just so crazy. I think this is maybe one of the best ceremony ever. Tell me in the comments what's your opinion about that. It's just so crazy to see that outside of a stadium. I think it's gonna change something, like the next ceremony for the next Olympics, it won't be in a usual stadium. It won't be like that. I think that the other countries will have to do something like that also, like to be outside, to do a big show like that. I'm sure that the other countries will try to keep the level, because that time Paris, they made a great job. But not everyone is sharing my opinion. For example, if you saw an ad during the opening ceremony, like if you saw an ad, a commercial coming during the ceremony, it means that you were censored. When you were watching it from Paris, you don't have any ad anywhere. It was shown on the public television, on the public channels, and on the public televisions, you don't have any commercials inside the program. You have it between different programs, but not inside. They won't just cut your TV episode to put an ad. Many dancers or singers were gay people, LGBT people, also some drags were dancing. And I know that they can be censored in other countries, but I saw different countries like censoring it without any explanation. Like for example, the blue Philippe Catherine as Dionysus was not shown in the US, if I remember. He was censored, and I don't know why, because he looks like naked, but he was not naked. He had like an underwear, and he was just painted in blue, singing something really funny. Why are you censoring that? This is so weird to censor something like that. This is just so weird to censor anything about this ceremony, because it's an artistic direction, it's an artistic play or a work of art. Censoring something that you don't like, it's just terrible. Especially from countries that looks like democratic or open-minded, where the freedom of speech is important. This is really weird. I've seen many people from the far right, especially, that were disappointed with the ceremony because it was not, it was too woke, or because you had some drag queens dancing or some gay people kissing. They were telling that it's not for the kids, and the Olympics was scary for the kids. It's not scary. A drag queen or people kissing to each other, it's not scary for kids. Things that are scary for kids are the violence. It was not violent. Even the beheaded Marie Antoinette was more a joke than something scary or bloody. So you can't say it was scary for the kids. It's just scary because you don't like that and because you're not open-minded. The Olympic ceremony is also an artistic work. It's Thomas Joly who made like the artistic direction. We had a lot of stylists and comedians and choreographers and artists that were working on that. it's also a point of view, and you have to accept an artistic point of view, even if you don't like it, because it's interesting to have a different point of view. And I think that the ceremony made a lot of things, showed a lot of things in the world, from the drag queens to the epic French history. It was really vast. You had some rappers, you had a black woman singing the Marseillaise, you had the army playing some drums, you had many things that shows a lot of the French culture, and I think this is a really good ceremony for that. Some people wanted to see just one idea, one type of France, one opinion, one political opinion about France, but this ceremony showed a lot of stuff. And I think it's a really great ceremony that showed many things about the French culture, especially the French culture in 2024, and that wanted to share a message of peace and diversity. And that's why, for me, it's one of the best ceremonies I've seen for the Olympics. Tell me what you think about this ceremony in the comments. I hope you loved it, because I think it was a great show. And if you were in Paris also, or if you are in Paris right now for the Olympics, share me in the comments what you will see, what kind of sports you are going to attend. And of course, if you want to explore Paris and discover the French way of life, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. I post every single day, so see you tomorrow.